Have you ever seen a housing market, there's a myriad of things that you're seeing right now with how people are going above list. They're scared, but they're still doing it because they have to do it because they have to get in the game.
Right.
To get in the game, it's like you got to go above 30. You got to waive the appraisal, like on the value. If it comes in low, you're covering the difference, especially in that $600,000 to $800,000 range. Okay. Where do you see this housing market headed? Because I feel that it's a hot market.
Needs to stabilize, right? For sure.
Yeah.
But stabilizing in a crash is a hell of a lot different of
I don't see a crash happening,
right?
Do you?
Like everybody keeps saying, crash. Look, I sat here when I came in from California to move to Vegas. Within 12 hours, I'm like, it's going to crash. How's no one see this, right?
Well, is it going to crash or is it going to go through a recession?
I don't think it'll do either. I think it will stabilize just to stop with the appreciation. We can't have 25% appreciation year over year.
Well, the interest rates.
Yeah.
That's going to stabilize it, right?
It'll stabilize it. It'll just push out people and bring in investors, and that's why I tell people there's the whole rumor and conspiracy theory of they don't want them. They want to make it so everybody turns into a rental pool and stuff like that. The government's trying to do that. I don't think government's trying to do it. I think hedge funds are.
Hedge funds are the biggest.
Why would you not, right?
Their biggest culprit.
You have to have diversification as an investment. Any decent investor will tell you that. Even if it's real estate, they'll diversify into other markets, stuff like that. A hedge fund are way smarter than all of us combined. They will diversify. They'll have their stock.
Can you explain what a hedge fund is? A lot of people don't even know what that is. And I think there's a lot of talk out there.
Yeah.
So you deal with these guys.
Yeah, they're funds, right, where you have to, for the majority of the time, you're accredited investor, right? So you got to have somebody that's worth X amount, makes X amount, all this. These are smart. These are people that they consider smart and wealthy people that can take risk and lose it, right? And so hedge funds will take this money and they will have different divisions. They'll have the stock division. They'll have the real estate division. They'll have like the bonds. They'll have all this stuff. They're now squeezing in a little crypto. And what they do is these people, when you have billions of dollars at once, you can move a market. Perfect example on being able to move a real estate market, if you're familiar with Vegas, is Tony Hsieh. You put $150 million, reportedly
downtown?
$300 million, right? But let's call it $100 million into a couple 3-mile radius. You can change a real estate.
Well, look at downtown; it's completely different now, all because of him. He put all of the investment into it. He's the one that came with the idea. And he's the one that put all the money really up front.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry. So hedge funds, is it a group? So I just want to make it more clear for people that are listening. So is it a group of people that you have to, how do you become that? Is it just based on obviously your dollars?
Yeah, no.
Is it influence? Is it, hey, like we know each other and then this is our group, or is it just one individual?
So people can you
elaborate on that?
People are putting together little funds, right? Like they'll just put together, hey, let's all put together $100,000 and do whatever. You can do funds all sorts of ways, but major hedge funds like the Blackstones, like Invitational Homes, like all these guys, they have billions of dollars, so they can go and say, you have to place $5 million with me, and you cannot touch that $5 million for X amount.
Right.
Like there's a million ways to set this kind of stuff up. But when you start putting billions of dollars together, you can move markets. And the safest thing I always say, COVID shows you exactly how real estate's a safe play, right? Because COVID hit, you lose 20% of your money, right, in the stock market.
Yep.
And then it goes up 30%. Then it's down. It's whatever. Real estate is just stabilized and just not stabilized. It's just been it's been a crazy rocket up. But here's the thing. If you buy now, you need a place to live. So sometimes don't look at your primary home as an investment. We made it as an investment. It should be an investment. You should look at it as an investment, but you need a place to go. And if interest rates go up, again, you're competing against so much money that people just don't comprehend is out there. I mean,
Well, I'm going to say, so the middle class wage earners to lower income wage earners, let's say the people that are out there trying to buy a house, that separation is getting bigger and bigger. What's unfortunate is you have all these investors like this, the hedge fund investors that have the ability to prop markets, to go in and buy markets at whatever cost it is. And ultimately it's pushing those people out of this housing market. And same with inflation. Like if you look at, we're going to talk about taxes on homes in a second, but the inflation that we see it's a lot higher than we're talking about. They say it's 9%. It's got to be higher than that. Yeah, it's got to be higher, right? So what do you think is going to happen with this market if they keep buying these homes? Are the people that are trying to buy a home, because I feel for these people, right?
I do too.
Imagine if it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago, maybe when I bought my first house and they were like, hey, guess what? Just to get into a house, you got to put down additional $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 above list.
Right.
You have to pay the appraisal contingency. There's no options for you as far as buying a home with a down payment assistance or any assistance in general. And where do you go, right? If you want to play the game, you better come in like a hedge fund investor, or at least have your own little private nest egg.